Hello and welcome to That TV Comedy Podcast Christmas Special 2025. My name is Amanda Davies and my co-host is
Jackie J. Sarah.
Today we're wrapping up the year with a shiny comedy-covered bow. We'll talk about the year in TV comedy, the best episodes, the biggest laughs, and those moments that made us go, wait, is this still comedy? Or am I quietly crying into a cup of tea? And because Santa loves a dramatic ending, we're also diving into those finales, the good, the bad, and the ones that left us shouting at the screen, like Uncle Bryn trying to explain what happened on that fishing trip. Hello, Jacquie.
Hi. That was a lovely introduction.
So, Jacquie, what have you been up to this year? It's been a long time.
Yeah, we haven't put out any other episodes this year. For my part, I was seriously incapacitated at the beginning of the year. That's hands up, my fault. What happened then?
Do you think that the year has just absolutely flown by? I just seem to have been really busy. I've been watching TV, obviously, comedies, working, and spending time on my other great love, which is theatre, as you know. And to tie it all together, I was lucky enough to see one of my favourite dark comedies on stage this year, the wonderful Inside Number 9.
I was there too. Your big face, and it's not a big face, by the way, anyone can't see her. She hasn't got a big face at all, but it was looming at me on the middle of a stage Inside Number 9. That happened, didn't it?
They did film the audience, and because we were in the front row, it did sweep across, and I was on screen on stage for a little bit. We were really lucky to get tickets.
Yeah, really lucky. Ramesh Ranganathan. I was so excited to see Ramesh, which is ridiculous because I never knew I was a fan of his until they pulled that mask off and he was sat there in front of me. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I really like him.
Oh,
it's because
so
he's
funny.
Miserable. I like miserable people.
Yeah, you have enough of them in your life.
I have been blessed and cursed with the screensaver miserable face. I can be sat there really happy and then somebody say, why are you so miserable? Oh, I'm not.
No.
So that's why we didn't record any episodes this year. I wasn't capable of doing podcasts at the beginning of this year. And Amanda got a bit busy and she wanted to go to the theatre instead.
People would say that I was incapable of doing podcasts at any other time of the year. I'm sure that's not true. So what have you actually been up to fulfill this need to discuss comedy, Jack?
I've got my own blog and website called Write to Comedy. WRITE 2 TO and then comedy. So it's a play on Write to Comedy, which is me, a writer of comedy. Right, you weren't so busy that you didn't write a piece for the blog.
I did actually write a piece about, and just like that, and Sex and the City, about the theme of friendship. I think you look at things from an angle that people might not have expected. You've done some really good blogs on how perceptions have changed over time. You've even done a comparison of how to perfectly time comedy with one of our favourite musicals and favourite films.
Back to the Future. It was the 40th anniversary of the film being released. And I want to talk about comedy as a broader subject. And of course, the comedy structure in Back to the Future is so tight. It's ridiculously tight. Welcome to our Christmas special.
I started to make a list of TV comedies I watched this year.
Right.
And I thought, I just keep watching the same things because I've got my favourites, as you know.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised when I started writing this list of just how many different comedies that I actually watch. And I've picked up some new ones as well. So, for example, Taskmaster. I'd never watched that before. Abbott Elementary. Really got into that as well. And there are obviously some new shows that came out. For example, The Studio.
Yeah, that was great,
really
The
good.
Studio.
Yeah, really good. Too Much.
I kind of made a list of things that were new out in 2025. Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, I got that.
Man on the Inside had a new series, which I enjoyed. Hacks continued. Daddy Issues continued. Mammoths. I've met that man. As a child, I met that man, Tony
As a
Mammoth.
child?
Yeah, because he's a 1970s bloke living in Wales, living in Cardiff. Of course, I met that man lots of times. Mandy came back.
Good.
Obviously, our favourite comedy of all time, The Bear, makes us roar with laughter, The Bear.
It's so funny.
It's so funny, isn't it? I love The Bear.
Yeah, I do too, but it isn't a comedy.
We had a new one from the creators of The Office, the paper. Mr. Big Stuff and Barasic came back on Sky. Running Point on Netflix, a new Mindy Kaling comedy. Fisk, I think it was out in Australia about 2 years ago, but we finally got the third season of Fisk.
Murderbot.
I loved Murderbot. That was on Apple TV. And I'm feeling cheeky to even include this, but Daisy May and Charlie Cooper's Night Watch. I would argue a lot of that was scripted. It might have been improv scripted.
Just shows sibling relationships, doesn't it?
Exactly.
The nice stuff, but generally being horrible to each other, making fun of each other, but always loving the person at the same time. Shrinking
was not back this year.
Wasn't it?
2024, that was.
I have read their new series is due in January.
We're concentrating on the last 12 months. But man, we also lost comedies this year.
We did. R.I.P.
R.I.P. to the following comedies. The Change on Channel 4.
Such a shame.
Absolutely ridiculous. Upload from Prime. That was quite good. Mythic Quest ended one way, and then a couple of weeks later it ended a different way completely. So when Apple TV cancelled it, they changed the last scene of the last episode so it didn't end on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
Barasic finished. It's not quite a comedy as in a half-hour sitcom. That is comedy drama that was on Sky, and that was out over a few years as well.
But Barasic ran for about 6 seasons, didn't it?
It was really good. They cancelled Frasier, the reboot.
So sad.
That one hurt. I think they were in such a good place. The characters were working. Everything was into place for a really good 3rd, 4th, 5th season. And Paramount pulled the plug.
What do you think a good finale should be?
Oh, okay. I think the main story should be finished off. For example, Friends, okay, they had the babies, Monica and Chandler, but we didn't need to know what was going to happen next to Joey. We didn't need to know the next steps of Phoebe. We didn't know that Ross and Rachel would have another break in the next month. We didn't need to know any of that. All we needed to know was the friendship group would change because Monica and Chandler were no longer in the immediate setting. And so that is a good ending because we know their lives are going to go and take a different direction now, but we don't know really what that direction is going to be. Friends, I would set up as a good finale.
Okay, what do you think my measure of what's a good finale is?
You want to laugh and you want to cry. Well,
I want to laugh, I want to cry, I want closure.
I want closure.
Yeah.
So for you, what was good finales?
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, that was such a good finale.
There you go.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Blub, 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 blub.
Blub, blub, blub. You're not wrong.
But that is how you write a finale. It acknowledged the friendship between Midge and Susie. It showed the story of their life, so you couldn't actually, or talked about what happened in their life, so no ambiguity there. And the other thing that I've noticed about really good finales, they extend. They do a proper send-off for the characters. And there's no surprise that particular episode was the highest rating episode of the whole series of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and it got a 9.5 on IMDb.
Oh, it's a 10, man. It's a 10 for me.
It's a 10 for me.
And the finale, it didn't work for you?
Well, this year, and just like that.
Go on.
It felt like they gave up. As you said, the writers did give up halfway through. I think something
I don't
happened.
think they did.
No. Officially, Michael Patrick King wrote, "While I was writing the last episode of And Just Like That Season 3, it became clear to me that this might be a wonderful place to stop."
And why would they pull the plug?
Because the ratings were not good. It was getting lots of criticism. He loved the characters. He loved the show. Why would he have the very last episode of Sex and the City and Just Like That whole hour with that toilet overflowing in your finale of a much-loved series? Why?
I take a different route from it than you do. I loved Carrie's ending. I generally don't know about ratings. I've not seen the ratings. And the ratings don't actually matter as much as are advertisers paying for slots in that program and is it being sold. It's about money. It's never about ratings.
I was disappointed as somebody who loved the series that it ended in that way. As you said, Carrie's story perfectly ended. I feel that they dropped everything else to concentrate on getting a good end for Carrie.
Man, you're just going to have to get over it. That was the ending. Get over it.
No, I'm speaking my truth. And quite frankly, I find your abusive tone triggering and it's damaging my mental health.
Fair dues, love.
This episode is sponsored by Deliciously Bright & Co., the creative studio helping you get deliciously done by turning bright ideas into beautifully finished projects.
Okay, hang on. Studio. It's just me. I am the studio. I am the staff. I'm the entire payroll and HR department.
Yes, and what a department you are. At Deliciously Bright & Co., clients get clarity, momentum, and
a gentle shove. Don't forget the shove. Very supportive, very Welsh, slightly bossy.
Indeed. Through one-to-one sessions, accountability, and the occasional reality check, Jacquie helps creatives actually finish what they start.
Exactly. If you've got a brilliant idea hiding in your notes app, I'll help you rescue it. If you've got 12 brilliant ideas, well, you really need to pick one. You could try the Creative Unpack Kit, which is for all
Visit
creators.
deliciouslybrightco.com to get deliciously done. Link in show notes.
And yeah, it's still just me. But I do excellent work for one person.
The other supposed finale that failed the cry test was the Gavin and Stacey special, Christmas 2019. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the programme, but it just didn't feel like the end.
It wasn't the end, man. I hate to break it to you, but there was a further finale, and it was at Christmas 2024 in the last 12 months. And
No
we haven't
way.
had time to talk about it. Let's talk Gavin and Stacey, finale 2024.
Now that definitely passed the cry test.
Did you cry, man?
Yeah. And do you know, I cried again when I watched it again.
How many times have you seen it then?
I've seen it about 4 times now. It's made me cry every time.
Yeah. So should we have a little chat about the finale, Gavin and Stacey 2024? The actual finale.
Yes.
Story that Ruth Jones and James Corden wanted to tell.
Right. And it was really interesting when looking at the book about the series by James Corden and Ruth Jones, that I'd always assumed that he was the one who was holding it back and not writing it, that because he was so busy, but was shocked it was the other way around.
No, he asked her to do it, and she was fobbing him off all the time.
The opener, Stacey's walking up that hill in Barry Island. She's talking to Gavin at work. But this, again, this scene tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Just like that very first scene did in the very first episode, all those years ago, Smithy's getting married.
The first twist in the finale.
6 minutes, 15 seconds in.
Yeah, big reveal.
It's Sonia.
It's not Nessa, it's Sonia.
They had kept that so well hidden.
Nessa's on the front on a bike.
Oh, she's driving the old pedicab.
75 quid for 2 minutes.
It's got Bluetooth in her bra.
Yeah, Bluetooth in a bra.
Well, the woman, quite rightly,
Yeah.
says they've only been going a few minutes, and Nessa says, I'm speaking my truth, I am, and I find your abusive tone triggering and damaging my mental health.
Oh, deja vu. Anyway, how long's she been working at the slots?
Apparently 47 years.
She didn't want to go to the wedding.
Yeah.
But she did agree to go to the hen night.
Cringe, cringe, cringe.
Oh, it was worse cringe to me than any episode of The Office. Both sides of the Atlantic. We've got to talk about the stag. And there's a pub crawl. But the biggest thing is Mick's speech about Smithy.
Oh.
So Mick tells Smithy that they always wanted another child and they never did. And then Smithy turned up at their door one day.
With Gavin.
He just started showing up at the house more and he said the pain started going away. And I just thought, oh.
Yeah.
But we go back to the KFC.
Oh, yes. The corn on the cob innuendo.
Yeah. And Smithy admits he'd love a corn on the cob with Nessa. But he just can't. Just can't do it, which is lovely.
But we also find out that Nessa's leaving.
She's only 29. She's been on the slots for 47 years, but she's 29 now. She's got to move on with her life.
6 months on a cargo ship.
Yeah. And then there's another big reveal then, isn't there?
Gwen and Dave coaches. Who saw that one come in? I didn't. I love a surprise. I do.
Yeah. Acceptable package, though. So good luck to Gwen. And then it was bye, baby Neil. Bye, baby Neil. He only going to his dad's, but Nessa was acting like she'd never see him again.
Well, she's going away for 6 months.
Yeah, good for fairness. Did you? Nessa was so pared back on that scene.
Yeah.
It's really good.
To show, the range.
Yeah.
And Bryn's going to be rattling around Barry like a bat in a boot.
Should we cut the long story short up? Well, we've got to mention Pam's life after Mick. She's obviously put a lot of thought into Pam's life after Mick. Because she's definitely going to live longer. She's going to sell a house and buy a flat, and she's going to get a toy boy in. And she
won't have to work.
You won't have to work because they got the money from the house. So happy days.
Yeah, I love that. So who do Gavin and Smithy look like when Bryn arrives? Who does he compare them to?
Oh,
I should put this as a quiz question, shouldn't
yeah,
I?
you should have done, because I don't remember.
He says they look like Robson and Jerome.
So we're getting vibes from everyone that they're not fussed on Sonia. And then it's the wedding. Do you remember
everybody's telling Gavin to do something? Well, Gavin, I really felt for him.
Yeah.
Why was it Gavin?
Why is down to Gavin to tell Smithy not to do it? But do you remember what Sonia walked down the aisle to? What song?
Oh, I've forgotten.
It was Somewhere Only We Know, a musical. Like a music over. But she just wants the attention, doesn't she? She wants to be the princess. She's smiling away at everyone. She's going to even care Smithy's at the end of it. All she cared about is he could put the wrong shoes on. So
no, straight away.
Awful. But we had a nice celebrant and a Maxwell Martin. Gavin steps up.
Finally, when it comes to the rings, he says something. Oh, and then he says that everybody agrees with him, but everybody just sits there.
And they sit there. I've had that moment how many times in my life where I've stepped up, I've done this, what everyone told me to do. They'll back me up, and then all of a sudden you stood there and you're the lone wolf, the one that everyone can hate.
But then eventually,
Bryn stands, and then they all follow.
Pam,
a few people on Sonia's side.
Yes, and that was an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The two extras just took it upon themselves.
And they decided to keep it.
It was perfect, wasn't it?
But there was one person who didn't stand up. And
this is the most important one for Smithy.
Yeah, he kept looking at him, Mick.
Yep.
And eventually he stood up. And
Sonia loses it and tells him, everybody says you're punching her. And he says, not everyone, just her. And that's when he breaks.
Yeah. So we love a race against time. Who doesn't love a race against time in a programme?
Absolutely.
They got to get to Ness before she gets on that boat and disappears out their life for 6 months. They managed to get to Newport Docks, but it's supposed to be Southampton. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to Newport Docks, but it's not quite on the same level as...
No, it's smaller.
They wanted to film it in an airport. They wanted her to be getting on a plane, like a race through an airport, which everyone loves. Everyone loves an airport chase through a rom-com.
Absolutely.
But Cardiff Airport wouldn't let them film there unless they said they were at Cardiff Airport. So they had to say no because they're supposed to be in London. That's what they said in the Ruth Jones and James Corden book. They were upset that they couldn't do the airport, so they went to docks instead. Smithy gets down on his knees. One knee, I should say.
So
It's a different story.
He's not praying.
And he asks Nessa to marry him.
And then they cut to the wedding, both in black, and then they shake hands and hug because they never kiss. Because
They never kiss. But it was a nice last joke, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then they had the Gavin and Stacey theme, and it was all over.
And it was lovely that they had like the party afterwards. You could see how happy everybody was.
Yeah.
But there was no speaking.
Yeah, it was just
It was
about
music
them.
playing over, and then there was the photo at the end.
Oh.
I loved it.
Genuine like.
Genuine. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Loved it.
You don't get many things that are that anticipated and watched by so many on Christmas Day anymore. That was event TV.
But it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it lived up to the hype.
And then I think it says a lot that finale got an IMDb rating of 9.1, which I think is an amazing result considering it's not big in America.
And now we finally stopped talking about finales. Let's talk about our top 5 comedy moments of the year. And I'm going to say moments, but we can include episodes. My 5th one was changing the ending of Mythic Quest. I've not seen that done before. It might have been done before. That they put the audience first and changed the ending so it didn't finish on a cliffhanger.
Excellent. Fair play. So my moment comes from Abbott Elementary. It's from episode 17 of season 4, and it's the episode Karaoke. Jacob's a bit annoyed. He starts singing a new metal song, totally unexpected. Yeah. But the funniest part was when they're all there at the end of the night singing "What Would You Do" by City High. And then you can see Barbara. She's singing a little bit in disbelief at the lyrics. What would you do if your son was at home crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry? And the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money. She's crying there, hearing this. And then the lyrics are continuing, coming out of lockdown. And so they're shouting this in the mic. And then as the mic moves back to Barbara, she says, "Oh no, not lockdown." She's just bawling. It's just so funny. It was so funny.
Next, again, I'm going for an episode. The reason I've gone for an episode is because I couldn't pick a moment out of it. But it's from Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
And it's called After You, and it's the life of Lester. What Only Murder in the Building do is they take a side character or the character that's the murder's about, and it goes into their life. They're able to do these amazing standalone episodes. It gives you such emotional connection to the character. So we know Lester's been murdered. It's really heartbreaking, his story. And because we know that, we now care.
So my next moment is from season 17 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I'm surprised you picked Sunny.
Well, I am a bit of a fan. Lots of moments I could have picked. But this one came from Frank's in a coma. It's just typical Sunny.
Is it cake?
Is it cake? Absolutely. They realise that Frank has passed away. So they kiss his head and they're like, "Does it taste sweet to you?" Dee's there crying. They're all upset. And then the next thing, Frank bursts in saying, "Ha, it's cake." And when she's crying, she's saying, "Why?" And he said, "Well, I'm just trying to show you the magic of cake technology. You cried over cake. Ha. I mean, it's so cruel. But it was so funny.
They are cruel. I've got a adjacent one as my next one.
Ooh, okay.
And also Abbott Elementary moment.
Cool.
So, they did the crossover episodes. There was 2 crossover episodes. One was
it was hard to
shown
pick.
in a Sunny episode, and the other one was shown as a Abbott Elementary episode. Well, the Abbott Elementary episode was very PG rated.
Yeah.
And I don't know which order that it was supposed to be, but we saw that one first, I believe.
Yeah.
The Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
And so they're working at the school because they've been caught up for something, but they have to do community service at Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
I'm actually talking about the Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
That version, yeah.
Yeah. And Janine, how do you describe her?
Straight-laced.
She's straight-laced. She's very careful what she says, and she doesn't say anything bad. She doesn't swear. So there's a piece to camera, and Janine's asked to say what she thinks about Sweet D, and Gregory says, no, just say it. And you think she's going to come out when she's a bitch or something like that, and then she goes, she's an absolute see you next Tuesday. And Gregory's eyes just like,
yeah,
and his mouth drops.
Funny.
So funny to see a character that's never sworn to swear like that.
I'm just wondering if I'm going to be in trouble with this one because it's from Gavin Stacey, the finale, which was
it's the last 12 months. Just saying the last 12 months.
Okay, when Smithy's in John Lewis, and it's at that 6 minutes 15 second when he arrives and the bride turns around and it is Sonia. That's the gasp moment.
Laughs are cheap, man.
Exactly, the gasps are where it's at.
Gasps are where it is.
But I cheated and I also picked another moment from that episode.
Oh, this is a shocker. Go on.
But we haven't talked about this one. So we've got the scene. Stacey and Nessa are outside. Dawn and Pam go back inside after Pam's calmed Dawn down. Nessa says it's freaking her out and she doesn't like it. She's not going to lie. So Stacey immediately thinks that Nessa fancies Pete.
Okay.
And Nessa says, no, but I wouldn't kick Pete out of bed. That's not the funniest part, though.
No, I hope not.
Nessa says, remember that Christmas before COVID when me and Smithy slept together? And Stacey again jumps in, oh my God, you're pregnant. And Nessa just says, it was 5 years ago. So Nessa admits she told Smithy she loved him and proposed. Yeah. And that he looked at the ring and was about to speak, but Gavin came out and Smithy walked away. So Nessa told Gavin she was practicing her Cossack dance for a one-off gig on New Year's Eve to explain what she was doing. And she says, incredibly, I still had her in me. I did 5 or 6 Slav squats, made my excuses and went to bed. Funny. Not as funny as when Nessa tells Stacey not to tell anyone and then they cut to her telling Gavin. He says, I knew something was going on, like it felt weird, but then I got distracted by some of the finest Cossack dancing I've ever seen. Come on, that's class.
And this one's from this programme that was been on in the last 12 months. And it's called Gavin and Stacey, the finale.
Which bit did you pick?
Mick standing up for Smithy in the wedding.
Oh,
I know we've talked about it, but it's one of the best moments on TV. And that's all I've got to say on that.
Yeah, it was a moment. So yours is going to be this.
I would imagine we're on the same track here.
It's season 4, episode 9 of a little show called Hacks.
Yeah, it is.
Called A Slippery
Slope. It probably is the best episode of TV in 2025.
Absolutely. And it involves Dance Mom.
Dance Mom, yeah. So don't do spoilers, but keep going.
Oh, well, I'll do a round. So they've introduced Dance Mom because Dance Mom, because Deborah wants to appeal to female demographic. So Kayla and Jimmy have got this TikToker, Dance Mom, onto the show, but she's become a bit of a nightmare. She's spending lots and lots of money. She's drinking, she's taking drugs. And in this particular part, she's due on Deborah's show, but she's disappeared.
Yeah.
Where is she, Jack? Where is she?
Where's Dance Mom?
Where's Dance Mom?
Well, she's
So-
on the Universal lot, man.
She's somewhere on the Universal lot. Cue Kayla and Jimmy driving around the lot, shouting, "Dance Mom, Dance Mom," trying to find her. Absolutely hilarious. We
It
get
was.
the Jaws ride. We get Bates Motel from Psycho and an interaction with a cast member whose method, which Jimmy complains about, that they're all method, and then they find Dance Mom in Wisteria Lane. But she doesn't actually want to be in Wisteria Lane, does she? She wanted a picture on Carrie Stoop from Sex and the City. Jimmy tells her that that's New York and from Sex and the City, and they're actually on Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives.
But I said no spoilers, but I do want to go to Deborah's speech at the end. So you had this bit, which was genuinely laugh out loud with Dance Mom.
Yeah.
And then Deborah does a speech at the end, and it's one of the best speeches as well that's ever been. And I won't say too much, but it's to have something, to go from something so funny to so serious and such a gasp moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
What she says.
Yeah. Yeah,
You don't
absolutely.
see it come in, and you've been lulled into this false sense of security by all the funny stuff. So my comedy moment of the year is the episode Slippery Slope.
Slippery Slope.
Sounds like that was your comedy moment of the year as well.
Yeah, of 2025. Even though I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I don't think you could top that episode. Hacks
No.
is such an amazing show generally.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah.
do an episode on Hacks.
We will.
If I can clear my busy theatre schedule.
If you could, you can find room for me, man. Please let me know.
I promise the listeners now an episode on Hacks in 2026.
Are you sure? Because I could just do a blog on it if you're too busy sat in a theatre.
And now we come to everybody's favourite part
No,
of the
just
show.
yours. Just yours.
It's the quiz. And this is going to be fun because it was carte blanche. Could have been on anything.
So 5 questions each.
Number 1.
What does Tim buy Dawn as a Secret Santa gift?
Oh, it's something that says keep going.
Doesn't buy us something that says keep going.
No, isn't it a little drawing thing? Never give
A,
up.
Never give up is what is it? But one Dawn is at the office. She's absentmindedly drawn a picture of Tim, and then she just leaves it on the desk. So he buys her paints, I think it is, and he gives her that drawing, and he tells her never to give up.
So, sort of there.
No, you were never there. Go on.
What tattoo does Nessa have, and where is it?
The one that's on her forearm is of the Welsh dragon.
It's a red dragon. It's the top of her right arm.
2. In the Christmas episode, Citizen Nope, what do the Parks and Recs department create for Leslie after she's suspended?
A miniature town pony.
Is it the
It's a miniature town hall.
It's a gingerbread city hall.
And I think I asked you that question last year in the
I
quiz.
don't even. Man, I've slept since then. Well,
Have you?
Yeah, only once or twice, in fairness, but I have slept since
Not for many hours.
No.
Okay. In Friends,
Yeah.
who dresses up and does what? And I'll give you the episode, the one with the holiday armadillo.
Well, Ross dresses up as a holiday armadillo, and Chandler dresses up as Santa. Oh, yeah. Joey dresses up as Superman.
Exactly.
My third question is, what was the name of the 3rd episode in the Only Fools and Horses trilogy, beginning Heroes and Villains, Modern Men, and it is related to the episode. So just think about what happened. It is, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Time on our hands.
Yeah. Okay. So this question is about the US Office, season 6, episode 13, Secret Santa. Michael is unhappy that who has been tasked with dressing up as Santa instead of him.
Oh, it's Phyllis, isn't it?
It's Phyllis.
That's right, yeah. my question then. In Frasier, episode Father Christmas, can you remember all of Frasier's Christmas episodes?
No.
Here we go. Who is Alan reunited with? That narrows it down, doesn't it?
His daughter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was in the reboot.
You're not going to believe what my next question is.
Go on. In the
In
Frasier
the
reboot.
Frasier episode, no.
Go on.
Perspectives of Christmas from the original series.
Yeah.
Who got stuck in a lift with a Christmas tree?
Niles.
That's correct.
In the Christmas episode of The Good Life, there was only one. What gift do Tom and Barbara give to the Ledbetters?
Did they give them paper hats?
No,
Hats made out of newspapers.
That's in Crackers, and I'll
'cause
tell you. Hand-knitted jumpers. You know, those horrible green dyed things?
Yeah.
Horrible. And they're still nice about the Ledbetters. They're just better people.
I'll do something totally different then. So, in the Gavin and Stacey Christmas episode, the
What
finale,
we just talked about.
the one we just talked about a little bit, why was a visit to Little Chef planned for Smithy's stag do?
Oh, I don't know why it was planned, but it was definitely in the planning.
Smithy's first job, washing dishes.
Ah, okay. Well, I think I won that one then.
You say that every time, and there's
I
never
know,
any
every time I
evidence.
win. Every time I win.
Thanks for joining us. Remember, we get a lot of this stuff from the internet. And did you know?
The internet can lie.
Find us on Instagram at deliciouslybrightpod.
Or visit our website, deliciouslybright.com.
Or email us at thattvcomedypodcast@outlook.com. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Suppose you better go and edit this now, Jack.
It's going to be a nightmare. But I do offer podcast services on deliciouslybrightco.com.
See you in 2026.
That TV Comedy podcast was presented by Amanda Davies and Jacquie J. Sarah. It is a Deliciously Bright podcast, produced by Jacquie J. Sarah.